Well. Good morning, West Ham fans. Russ of the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. Is Tim Steidten warming up his jet for January? That's the question we're asking today in today's morning little breakfast daily show. Now, according to several reports, Tim Steidten he's got his eyes locked on a double raid of the Bundesliga. As you know, he knows extremely well of his time at Werder Bremen and at Bayer Leverkusen. And not just one, but DOS. I don't know what the German is for two, but he's plotting a double Bundesliga raid with one raid on his former club and one raid on another club in Germany. The report says that Tim usually gets what he wants, and he's taken on some sort of cult-like status in a very short amount of time at West Ham, particularly not only in terms of some of the deals he's pulled off, but looking back at the Jared Bowen deal, he was there, the bit of paper and signing it and taking the pictures. And so it was, he's taken a bit of a cult status view already at West Ham, which is great to see. It was relatively all doom and gloom around the club when number 41 was sold. And then we'd just been thumped by Leverkusen. But, when we came out of that summer transfer window with the likes of James Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, Mohamed Kudus, Mavropanos, for a combined number of £122 million, credit obviously to, the board as well, and David Moyes and Mr. Sullivan. But Tim was the main catalyst. He seemed to get the job over the line, so much so that, we have the Fabrizio Romano, here we go, tweet, but we don't agree anything. We don't assume anything's been signed until we get that picture of Tim Steidten in his jet, in the private jet, sitting whether it's at the background. He tends to be the background, doesn't he, like that, with the agent and the person who's next to him. But as I said, there is no rest for the wicked as we're entering, a very critical January transfer window, I think, for us in terms of seeing where we're going to be. I think getting to January, knowing where we're sitting currently in the league and in the Europa, league, and also in the Carabao Cup and things like that, and actually progressing, using January to progress the team and improve the team rather than necessarily, scrabble around. And it seems that we've identified two players, one being, we spoke about him before, the Stuttgart striker, Serhou Guirassy, who is absolutely on fire in the Bundesliga at the moment. He's 27, but he set a Bundesliga record at the weekend when he became the first player to score 13 goals in his first 7 games of a German season. Now, we know, there's always been this, we need someone, a proper striker to replace Mikel Antonio. And, and everyone's, oh, this guy's it. I generally think this guy is it. Guirassy has that sort of power and pace, and he's absolutely on fire. I mean, he's outscoring Harry Kane by Munich. There's a reason why Stuttgart are doing so well, and this is because of the man himself. But he's not staying there. He's not just staying at Stuttgart. He's going back to his old haunt, apparently. And according to reports, he's also lined up a £35 million bid for the centre-back, I think left-sided centre-back, if I remember correctly, Piero Hincapié. From Bayer Leverkusen, the Ecuadorian international. He's 21. He's made 27 appearances for his country already. Left-footed centre-back, can also play left-back as well. And, I'd say that's an area West Ham probably need a younger player to cover for Emerson. We haven't got that at the moment. And we know that, we can see that when we have the Europa League games or Cup games, and, Ben Johnson's had it deputised there. We've had Kira deputising there. That left back position, I think you do need, and we have. It's weird because we have like sort of Emerson, we have people like Ollie Scholes, but we had no one in the middle really. And Hincapié could be that person, and also has the option of playing left centre back as well. Which again, you're thinking next season, particularly, Angelo Bono will no longer be with us. He's not passed away, but he'll be no longer. Contracted as a West Ham player, so very much, it's the next generation of that left side, and also to give him some actual competition for Naya Faged as well, or even take over Naya Faged's position. In essence, with bringing in someone like Hincapié, that's a completely new centre back partnership. But and obviously him and Mavropanos, that's a younger centre back partnership and a quite exciting one indeed. Where Claret here reports that Steidten is very much eyeing up Hincapié, although they warn he won't come cheap. As we said, he was linked to move away from the Bundesliga, but he opted to stay, and now we're apparently keen with Steidten. We'll know the player from his Bayer Leverkusen days. Obviously, he's still got great contacts at the club, and they'll know that we'll hope to lean on them when it comes to negotiations. But he signed a new deal back in which lasts until 2027, back in February, and he won't come cheap, and an estimated £35 million price tag on his head. But he's 21, and he's got 10 years ahead of him at least. So, in Tim we trust. But let me know what you think. It's great. We're seeing, all this stuff around plans already in place. This is what we want as West Ham fans. This is what we want. We want a plan of action. It's always been a case, particularly for West Ham, where that January transfer window has been a bit like a panic. It's almost like, not a non-event, but there's been times where if we'd invested in the right person at the right time, we may have progressed. It was 2-3 years ago. If we'd bought a striker in or a forward player, could have got into the Champions League, not once but twice potentially. And both times we failed because we failed to invest at the right time. We look back last year, and I think Danny Ings was a January transfer signing, wasn't he? If I'm right. Bit of a panic buy, in all honesty. It does seem to be we tend to panic when it comes to January. But with this man in place, there is definitely a process. And, the process is so much that Jared Bowen's potentially happy to stay here for the rest of his career because he sees the project that Tim has and his vision. And it's really encouraging, when I'm seeing that we're already sending scouts out to not just like Germany or Brazil, but, we're still looking at, we were linked the other day with the Wigan defender, young, like 19-year-old defender. And I like that because actually we're scouring everywhere. We're looking at Northern Ireland, we're looking at Brazil, we're looking at Portugal, we're looking at League, we're looking at the Bundesliga. It's not just, the net has been cast really wide. And I know it's only at October, but I'm actually looking forward to the January transfer window. I think we're going to see some very useful signings which are going to benefit the squad, which is what it's all about. I still think there's places. I think that left wing needs addressing properly. But at the moment, obviously, we've got sort of make weight with Paqueta there. We're going to get a situation where we've got a slightly over bloated midfield at I think come the end of January. But then come January itself with the AFCONs, we lose Kudus, we lose Ben Rama, we lose Cornet, we lose Aged. So actually, it gives people opportunities as well. The likes of Pablo Fornals an opportunity to stake a claim for when everyone gets back. But when Tim's firing up his jet, he very rarely doesn't come home with just an oversized Toblerone. Anyway, keep an eye out for the rest of the day. We'll have daily shows, have Hammer's headlines, any breaking news we'll bring to you as soon as possible. But it's International Week, isn't it? So it's a little bit slower than usual. But we'll have some really fun game shows coming up, some interviews as well. Keep an eye on the channel. And as I said, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, my friends. Keep the faith. Enjoy your breakfast. Much love. Bye-bye.